Okay, the big argument, the big point I'm making here really is this, that for us black people to get political power, we have to be unconstitutional. Any black person who says is going to give you liberation or land through the constitution does not understand that the real ruling class, a settler monopoly capital, has already rigged the constitution in their favor. So the first condition to develop a black radical perspective is to be unconstitutional. This is a problem, because for the past 22 years, all black people have been trained to believe in the constitution. White people have finished us, you know. They wrote the Freedom Charter, we believe in the Freedom Charter. They wrote the Constitution, we believe in the Constitution. Our people, they quote the Constitution. They don't know this document is rigged. It's rigged against you. It is anti-black. The South African Constitution is anti-black. Now, the hegemony of white power in the superstructure, in the ideology, in law, in culture, it creates a situation of generalized anti-blackness. And this anti-blackness expresses itself in these terms. For instance, you are black, therefore you are guilty. You don't have to commit a crime. We will find a crime for you. Why do you think all of you here, when there's a roadblock, you have a problem? You know yourself, you have not committed any crime, right? You know your car is okay, everything, you have paid your taxes. But when you see a police roadblock, black people, you have a problem, you have a crisis. Because you know something deeper about how the law operates. The law can find that you are guilty. And then you will, of course, be. So you are guilty by virtue of your appearance. That is the essence of this anti-blackness. You are black, therefore you are corrupt. You are black, therefore you are incompetent. This anti-blackness is internalized even by black people as well. That is why it's so easy to create the narrative that the Gupta and Zumas are the problem in this country. They are the looters because they are associated with blackness. This anti-blackness, the other side of that is that all things, on the other side of the anti-blackness, all things white are, you know, pure, competent, and it can go on and on like this. That is why it's so easy to overlook white transgressions and corruptions, even when evidence is provided that whiteness is guilty. Our media, for instance, cannot get itself to put ABSA must pay back the money on its front pages. Such as representation of the truth goes against the natural order of things. This brings us now to the two main contributions that I believe our movement is making as Black First Land First. And I'll go through them very quickly. I will not read my notes, but I'll just quickly summarize them. I believe that our movement is making two very important contributions in the resistance struggle in South Africa. The first is this idea of making visible the invisible hand of capital. Because capital has naturalized itself, it cannot account. We can't hold it accountable. Even the Marxist discourse says monopoly white capital, but what is monopoly white capital? Or people, they marched to the JSE, they marched against white monopoly capital. I think the contribution that we have made as Black First Land First is in fact to name these players in this rubric of white monopoly capital. Johan Rupert, he's complaining bitterly. You know, Johan Rupert is complaining. He says, we are calling him a representative of white monopoly capital. You know, he is, but he's saying we are saying he is, but you see, because he has for a long time hidden behind this invisibility of whiteness, we have pointed him out, say, you are, just like the Oppenheimer family, which I think, as I keep on saying, Ospinky have done a good job there. We also have introduced in the South African discourse the name of Lord Robin Renwick. If you don't know, you must Google who is Robin Renwick, because he's the London chip. That's the one who runs us from London. Now, in terms of this, it's very interesting. I mean, part of this making the invisible hand of white capital visible. If you look at the media, the Mail and Guardian, the front page was fake news. I don't know, you know. There's a big thing about fake news and paid Twitter. This is interesting. It's exciting for me, this idea that white media is complaining. Finally, they are complaining themselves about fake news. Manufacturers of fake news are complaining about fake news. We are getting even. They have been writing fake news day in and day out. Now a little bit also we are saying, okay, let us do this thing together. Let us see how far we can go, Feriel. She's crying tears, but she is happy to write fake news about black people all the time. They say there's something called paid Twitter. These people who complain about paid Twitter, they get paid every month by Johan Rupert. So Johan Rupert can pay them. But those who are against them must not be paid. No. If somebody has money, they must also get their people to enter into the discourse of money making. But I think this complaint about paid Twitter, fake news is an important admission. What are they saying when they complain, the white-owned media, about these things? They are admitting that them as the media, they control how we think. Now all of a sudden someone else is beginning to enter the space of how to basically influence how we think. It's a contestation. Capitalism and whiteness are the most evil systems because they are at war with you. But when you fight back, they say they're the victims. So if whoever is responsible for paid Twitter, please continue and do more. Whoever is responsible for the new fake news, do more so that you can overcome the real fake news. It's war, this thing. There are other examples, but I think how they fight back and they present themselves as the victims. They say, whoever fights white capital in South Africa today is called a Gupta agent. You see, they have succeeded when there was no counter-narrative generated from London. By the way, if you go to see the idea of Gupta must go, starts from London. The big publications that started the idea is London, all of them. And then we pick it up here. They succeeded in projecting the Guptas as the enemy. Guptas must go. Mara, nobody's saying Lomnin must go. Lomnin killed people in Marikana. No one is saying, Mara Luna, you killed. You are the first that must go. They shut down Lonmin's accounts. I mean, Gupta's accounts. Lonmin can trade, no problem. And then they get a very able brother of ours to articulate the position of the Guptas must go. Zuma is the enemy. Support him, make him look like he is the most important spokesperson of black people. If you talk to ordinary people in the street, you ask them what is the problem, they say the problem is Zuma and Gupta. So the battle we're having to turn that narrative is the one that troubles them. Because on our part, what we are doing is to turn the narrative. We say, no, the problem is not Gupta and Zuma are small problems. The big problem is the other side, Rupert. And Rupert is crying and I love it. And Rupert does not know we are just warming up. We have not even started. When we're done with him, Rupert, he's going to be apologizing to every black person he sees in the street. There is a war, we don't have time, but there's a war going on around the SABC. The DA is capturing the SABC. I'm telling you now, white people are capturing the SABC. They are winning. Just like they've captured the Johannesburg Metro, Tshwane Metro, the Nelson Mandela, the fear and terror that is going on inside the SABC today by those journalists who have been trying to be truth, presenting the truth without being biased towards the white agenda is incredible. They are going to capture the SABC. Then they'll have a big platform because they want Cloudy out. Cloudy is their problem because Cloudy is the one person who's been saying things cannot be done in this manner. Let me quickly go through what is the second contribution of BLF in our political discourse. That is the idea of peace amongst blacks. Now, this idea of peace amongst blacks comes from Robert Sobukwe, actually. So Robert Sobukwe, but put it as a slogan that says, peace amongst Africans, war against the enemy. But it was just a slogan. It has never been elevated to a point of a principle. We are the first movement that says, the idea of unity or unity and peace amongst blacks must be a principle that guides the revolutionary program. What does that mean? This means that even sellouts, black sellouts, you still don't treat them as your enemy. You don't spend all your time fighting the black sellouts. The white project, even when we're fighting against them under colonialism, they realize that, okay, because there's anti-blackness, we hate each other as black people. They just give one black person as a sellout. We spend all our time fighting that person. We forget the real enemy. When we kill this one, they give us another one. Do you think after they get rid of Zuma, they're going to put Ramaphosa? What are you going to do after 6 months? Ramaphosa must go. They give us money to say that. They're sitting with our land, our wealth, our minds. So BLF is saying, no. The sellouts are our sellouts. We will deal with them in our own terms. And we will not do anything in how we deal with other black people that strengthens the hand of whiteness. When you deal with Zuma, you cannot deal with Zuma. When Johan Rupert says, as he has said, Zuma must go. As London says, Zuma must go. When they say so, you stop. You say, I've been fighting with Zuma. This is my battle with my brother. Why are you getting involved in this battle?